It's that time of the year again to redeem ourselves of operators not gotten due to bad luck or skipped due to upcoming banners. The 6-star Selector is the best value item you can purchase in Arknights. For $30, you can pick a 6-star you've really wanted, or pick a 6-star that will bolster your account's strength. As has been the trend recently, 6-stars have been generally pretty strong, so there are many great operators to choose from. That is why I'm here to give you a general guideline on who you might want to think about picking up if you are unsure. To keep the video short, I'll be only looking at the best value units, putting them into best and top categories, as you are going to be spending $30. So I want to recommend operators that will give you the most bang for your buck. This ticket goes up to and includes Sage Altar. So with all that out of the way, let's talk operators. Qiubai has a nice mix of damage and CC at her disposal. While she does lack Res Shred, if you pair up with Suzu or Ines, Qiubai becomes a damage dealing monster. Operators with any amounts of CC will always be highly valued. Qiubai also shows her usefulness in being able to cheese many things in IS-5, so if you are an IS player, she comes with that nice little extra benefit. Stainless is the best pure support in the game. The boy cat has skills that could fit any situation, from granting extra attack to your operators, to helping any offensive recovery unit get their skill quickly. Stainless really is the cure-all miracle for any operator that has a mediocre kit. Stainless's utility is not to be understated, even if he is not the most flashy. Reed is one of the best casters in the game that also happens to have the ability to heal your units. Her ability to debuff enemies by lowering their attack on skill is very useful and can save your units by letting them be able to tank hits they otherwise would not have been able to. Whether you choose their Reed Sandwich skill or their Reed Explosion skill, both provide very impressive amounts of healing, making her well worth the pick. Zola is a fun high damage dealing pick. He suffers from the curse of being a single block, yet he more than makes up for it with his 2 skills. With his skill 2, he's able to effectively become a Reaper guard. S2 also allows him to take advantage of his 2 busted SP talents, making S2 very spammable. His S3, while harder to spam, is a nice high power long range skill that allows Zola to make up for his 1 block nature. He is an expensive option however, since he does require mod 3 to be at max effectiveness. Ascalon is a fantastic utility unit that can make most stages vastly easier due to her impressive amounts of slows she inflicts. Her S2 provides almost Mestima level slows, but instead of her skill cycle being 110 SP, it is only 20 SP, making it very spammable and forgiving to use. Her S3 is no slouch either, as the massive range and self-sustaining nature of it makes it quite the great skill. All in all, Ascalon is a fantastic unit worth the money. Narantuya joins the list as an excellent loop shooter. Naran has the best of both worlds. She can both serve as a good damage dealer or as your AFK sniper pick. Naran on her S3 is able to deal out great damage while not losing out on utility due to her slowing enemies that are near her. Her S1 works as a nice AFK skill that retains high damage due to hitting 3 enemies at a time. Naran is quite useful as well due to how tanky she is, since her talents allow her to steal both defense and attack on top of having a 35% dodge chance, allowing Naran to be put in more aggressive places without too much worry. This coupled with the loop shooter range makes Naran quite an easy and forgiving unit to use and position. That rounds out our top units for this list, and it's now time to move on to the best units, the ones that will return the most on your investment of $30. Mlynar is the best sweeper in the game. Probably know what he does. You place him, wait 42 seconds, and then he deletes everything in his massive range. He will serve nicely in any stage you bring him to. He also serves as easy bait management, allowing you to ignore deployment order, which is a nice quality of life improvement. Ray offers both great utility and damage. Ray's S3 is her claim to fame, as it has very impressive damage numbers while also having a relatively short skill cycle of 20 SP if she defeats an enemy. Not only does it have both those things, her S3 also provides CC with her bind, making enemies less dangerous by keeping them away from your front line. Ray also has her mod that makes her much easier to use due to the reduced redeployment time of the Sandbeast, making it easier to line up her skill cycle and the Sandbeast skill cycle. Degen is a powerhouse of a guard, with a high burst skill that has a short cycle time of only 30 SP. She is also another place unit anywhere and click the skill to win button. Unlike her high power compatriots, Degen can both block and also does not perish after the usage of her skill. Frighten as a debuff is also massively useful, as it can save Degen herself until the next skill cycle, or save any units that are blocking dangerous enemies. Ines has unmatched utility. She has slow, bind, and invis reveal all in her kit while also generating DP and doing pretty good damage for a Vanguard. On top of all of those things, she's also a semi-fast rate deploy with a very short cooldown of 35 seconds. She's great in both high-end content as well as your day-to-day stage clears. Ines just fills a lot of roles, freeing up your team slots for other operators. And Ines is solidly the second best unit in the game due to her overall usefulness in literally every game mode. There's no situation where taking Ines is a bad choice. However, she's not the best pick yet again due to currently being purchasable with gold certs as of the uploading of this video. John Ulpianus Bloodborne joins the list as our second crusher in the game. Ulpianus, when paired with Gladio or any strong healer, is the best upgraded quality of life you can get in the game, as he can phase tank just about every boss in the game. With his S2, OPP becomes the best lane holder in the game by a large margin. If you want something more than lane holding, then his S3 has got you covered. His S3 deals an absurd amount of damage while only costing a ridiculously low 25 SP, meaning you can just spam his skill without worrying too much about skill cycles. OPP is a powerhouse that'll make daily content a breeze. We have finally reached the number one pick on this ticket, and it goes to Logos. Logos is the best caster in the game thanks in large part to his Delta module. His Delta module, letting him deal elemental injury, increases both his damage due to Necrosis Burst and his utility, since Necrosis Burst makes enemies deal only 50% damage. Logos is an M9 worthy candidate. His S1 is his premier AFK skill, as it deals good damage, covers a good amount of area, and will just execute enemies that reach the HP threshold. His S2 is a single target monster, useful for when you want him to kill bosses or any dangerous tanky enemy. And last but not least, his S3, his big damage skill. His S3 covers a large area while hitting 4 enemies at a time and increasing his damage by 300%. This damage increase also helps him in proccing Necrosis Burst very quickly, ensuring he gets the most out of his skill. All of Logos' skills are viable, and well, when you're the best operator in your class, it makes it quite easy to recommend him as this ticket's best pick. Some addendums I like to add to inform your choice. When looking at the next 6 months of Gold Cert debuts, Ines, Eggs 2, Swire 2, Typhon, Jessica 2, and Hoderer are set to debut. As of the release of this video, Ines is currently in shop and is by far the best pick from the debuts. For the others, if you have patience, you can wait to sort them from the shop and pick a different operator from the ticket. If you wish to gamble, here are some upcoming banners for you to consider. Over the next 6 months, both Ulpianus and Vienna Victoria will have their reruns, where they will feature as the solo 50% rate up. There will also be 2 orienteering banners, where these operators will be able to be picked for a focus banner. However, it should be noted that these operators are subject to change, as Yostar, for whatever reason, has switched the lineups in the past. So if you wish to go gambling, there are those banners to consider before picking an operator on this ticket. Quickly, for those of you who are picking the Colonel Selector, here are my best picks. Qiubai is the second queen of CC, as she has proven time and time again that she is invaluable. Suzu is the best damage amplifier in the game and will also serve you quite nicely in CC content. The Red Woman Surtur is as simple as operators get. You place her down, wait 5 seconds, and then activate her skill and watch her kill most things in the game. Flagpipe allows for the meta Flagpipe strategy. While Flagpipe is no longer a mainstay since the introduction of agents, Flagpipe's talents can make your agents even better. And well, there's nothing wrong with using the classic strategies. Also, I guess Bagpipe herself is a good unit. Nightingale is one of the forever medics with the ability to grant res and the utility that she brings with her cages that can bait damage. And Calcet rounds out this list as her true damage will always be useful and allows you to ignore cringe dodge mechanics. If you have patience, you can sort them from the shop, pick them on the build a banner, or get lucky with top operator tags. I will briefly touch on a general guideline on how to go about choosing a unit. Logos is the best overall pick, but if you already own him, the next pick goes to Ulpianus on account of Ines being in the gold cert shop. Since the XE alt banner features 2 big DPS operators, the flowchart for picking is slightly different. Utility becomes much more valuable, thus units like Ascalon and Stainless are fantastic to go with if you are missing them. If you are planning on skipping this banner, then the standard flowchart applies. First, look to see if you are missing any DPS on your roster. If DPS is filled, look at any support options you may be missing. If support is good, look at filling any defensive and or healing gaps on your roster. As always, I plan on streaming viewer polls once the event and ticket drops, so if you have any questions regarding who to pick, feel free to drop by and ask. I hope you found this helpful. Till next time.